What's up everyone? Welcome to another video about the Timetosser. I'm Mech, and this video I'm going to show you the plugin version of Timetosser that works seamlessly with the Timetosser hardware, and it can be used on any audio or MIDI channel within your DAW of choice. Today I'm going to show you how it works in Ableton. The cool thing is that we can not only use it on any VST instrument or loop or whatever, but we can also record our button presses and send MIDI notes to play the Timetosser. So I can record MIDI notes by pressing this and then send it back to the Timetosser, and it will activate the button presses that I recorded. Of course, you can also edit that afterwards when you've recorded button presses. You can also record combination of button presses, thereby unlocking the ability to create clips in Ableton, for instance, to activate the loop recorder. So let's have a look at my live project. Here you go. I've got the Digitone Overbridge plugin right here. So that's what you're going to hear. It's going to provide some beats. Then I have the Serum 2 here loaded in. And on the Serum channel, I actually have this Timetosser plugin. So here you can see that everything is blinking as it should, as we can see on the Timetosser itself. And when I press buttons, you can also see it jump around. Very nice. So I'm going to close this for now. Next up, I have a MIDI channel here that actually can play MIDI notes to send to the Timetosser to activate the different step buttons or different step length buttons and that sort of thing. To set this up in Ableton, what you need to do is have a Timetosser loaded on a track. On a MIDI track, a separate MIDI track, you click the input, MIDI input, and you select the Serum 2 in this case. That's the track name. And then to have MIDI sent to the plugin, you choose MIDI output. Again, the track, this MIDI track, and then the Timetosser plugin right here. That's basically it. Then you can start recording things into the MIDI track. So let's try that out. This is the sequence. You can hear this chord, this one. That's the thing that I'm gonna loop. So let's record a clip and just play around with the Timetosser. That's nice. So let's stop playback. So now I've recorded this clip. I can play it back because I've set the output to Serum 2 channel and selected the Timetosser plugin here. Make sure that the monitoring is set to auto. So as soon as I click play on this clip, it will send the MIDI out to the Timetosser plugin. Here we go. So, of course, this was a bit messy, and that's where we can start editing this MIDI clip however we want to and have that sent again. Then I have an audio track set up that listens to the Serum channel that I can record. So I can in detail program a MIDI sequence that will activate the step buttons and step length buttons and that sort of thing, and then record the audio to an audio track for further editing and mixing and effecting. Another cool thing is that we can also use button combinations. In this MIDI clip, you can see that I set up a long note, G#3, and a note that happens a little bit later, the B3. This is the note that's activating the mode button on the Timetosser. And this B3 note is the 8th note step length button. So you can see that first this is pressed, then this is held, and then this is pressed, activating the loop recorder basically. And you'll see that it will start blinking as soon as I play this clip. And then here below I programmed a C3 note, which is the 0 step key, and that will start the recorder. Other than that, I haven't added anything. So this will record until the 16 beats maximum length is reached. So I'm gonna start playback and activate that clip, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. You can see that it's now recording. It turns green when it starts playback of the loop. And now we are hearing the loop. Now I created another clip that holds again the mode button by using G3 sharp note and the B flat 3 note, which is the quarter note step length button. And this combination is cancel, loop, playback, and go back to live input mode. So when I activate this, it stops the loop. So now we're back in live input mode. Now the cool thing is that you can also create different lengths, of course. So here I try to create a little 3-beat loop. You can see here again this button combination is mode plus 8th step length button to activate the loop recorder. And here I added another press on the mode button to stop it. And here you can see the C3 note again to start playback. A good thing to see here is that, of course, when we activate the recorder, it's quantized. So it will start the next beat, right? It can't, immediately start on the first beat. That's not possible. So it will start one beat late. And that's why this 0 step key press is on the second beat of this clip. So here the recorder starts and then it stops after 1, 2, 3 beats by pressing the mode button again. So let's try that out. Here we go. There you go. Now we have a 3-beat loop. And I can cancel this, go back to live recording mode, and I can activate it again. The way I've set this up is these are one-shot clips. I turned off loop, otherwise it will keep on looping. So you can just press these clips and activate a different loop length, cancel them, then activate another loop length, and so on until you get something you like. And then you could record that audio, obviously put another Timetosser on that, restructure it again, and rinse repeat. So you can see that you can, do some very cool stuff with the Timetosser as a plugin device. Basically what you can do is you can create your own patterns. So remember when we hold one of the step length keys and one of the other, we get certain patterns that are predefined. So by using the plugin and actually programming MIDI clips to do these step key presses and reverbs and mutes and that sort of thing, you can create your own default patterns. So you could have a range of clips in your Ableton project or other DAW that have predefined presets that are made by you. And then once you have a bit of a collection of your own patterns, then you can go to town and load in your favorite drum loops and activate those MIDI clips and get some wild results. So last but not least, I want to do a little showcase to show you what you could do if you take some time to sequence stuff from your DAW and really go nuts on the MIDI notes to sequence the Timetosser to create something completely different. So I created an offbeat groove based on a 4/4 straight techno groove that came out of the Digitone that you heard earlier. Plus the stabs that you heard were coming from the Serum 2 inside my DAW, and it was simply restructured using an internal predefined pattern triggered by MIDI notes. And the whole thing sounds like this. That gave you a good idea of what you can achieve with using Timetosser as a plugin.